I'm going to show you another fun thing that happened. Put a nice laundromat in a shitty part of town, and this is what they do to it.
Hear that? That's the sound of money. You wanna know what the sound of money is? That's it. Ching, 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 ching. Ching, 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 ching.
Hey, I'm back! Now this is the back of the laundromat, this newest one I got. And I'm going to show you what I've been doing. The reason you haven't heard much out of me, I have timers. This is my room lights. That is the door locks. Those two little plug-ins up there are Amazon Wi-Fi plugs. I got my internet all hooked up, and I even got a little echo. And basically, you can see up there, there's a little cubby hole way up there. I'm going to take you on the other side and show it to you. Laundromat's locked, so I don't have to worry about people being in here at the moment, and it's still daylight, so we're pretty safe for the stop and rob neighborhood. The gun and knife club's also what we call this. See that little thing I built up there? Those towers sticking out, those little wands are actually antennas for the Wi-Fi. Since I have a double metal wall, the Wi-Fi signal won't come from back there into this main room to run everything. So I have to put those little it's a Netgear router to basically build up my Wi-Fi signal. And some of the stuff I've done, I'm going to show you, is I put these in. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it. Put that in, and what that is that's a magnet. Those are magnets on top of my door, and you probably can't see them. If I put this Ring doorbell on my laundromat and just mount it to the wall, it's got some screws that go through this cover, and you put a screw here so it's secure. People would literally just grab this, rip it off, and throw it away. They would get mad that they can't get into the laundromat. And it wouldn't be the customers, it'd be the vagrants and the homeless people. So we have to make something for this to go in that they can't get to it. Now, will they still poke at it and try to, like, I guarantee you this lens where the camera is, they'll end up jamming something in it because they'll get mad. I just don't think there's any way around it. I think it will happen. And it's sad, but it will happen. And you say, well, you got them on camera. Does me no good. This is such a low dollar item. Even if the cops are out in full force and that, they are not going to worry about this thing getting replaced by some idiot. They're not even going to waste their time arresting the guy or person. So I hope it doesn't happen, but I have a feeling it will. I'm going to build like a metal box for this to go in, and I'm going to hang that on the building, and I'm going to run carriage bolts through the building and bolt it from the back side. So I got it started. I'm going to show you it here. Here's the little housing I built. And it's not much, but it has a bar across the bottom. And then I'm going to take, and I cut it here, I'm going to take another bar, a metal bar, and put across this spot. And then the top's going to have a piece to it too. And now this will be welded to this plate. Now you're wondering, with a bar here, bar there, and this, how is Keenan going to get this in and out? Well, I'm actually going to take this back plate and cut it in half. So this part will be bolted to the wall, and then this part will be bolted, and it'll be bolted like a cap. So that way I can take it apart. And then when I take the top half off, I can pull this out and do whatever I got to do. I'm going to show you another fun thing that happened. Put a nice laundromat in a shitty part of town, and this is what they do to it. Now it's double pane, so they only broke the outside pane. Now basically I put an Alexa in. So I'm going to say, Alexa, turn on the radio.
Here's a station you might like. Today's hits on Amazon Music.
Pretty neat. Now, I didn't think of this stuff. Alexa, turn off the radio. That's pretty neat. Now, I can do a lot of other cool stuff too with my phone. And I'm going to show you this neat app. Now, Alexa, this is pretty sweet. You notice the lights are off right now, right? And you're like, man, it's awful dark in here. I'm going to take my phone and why don't we turn them on? How about we turn them off? I can even lock and unlock the doors. Since this laundromat's going to be a buzz-in situation and I'm going to see people on the camera, I can use the Alexa app and I can literally use that to unlock the doors, and my camera goes with the Alexa So it's an all-in-one thing.
I'm not sure what went wrong.
I keep saying her name so she starts talking. But I'll mute that in the future here because I won't need it. But I can do all kinds of cool stuff with this thing. I can even communicate with the room. I can say stuff like this.
From Keenan, thanks hot dogging with Dan, you are a genius.
Yeah, I learned this from hot dogging with Dan. There I fixed it. He went and put one in his laundromat too. Genius, just plain genius. Like I said before, you can always learn stuff from other people. Don't ever think you know it all, because that's how you end up going down the path like Sears, where you end up going out of business, because you think you know it all and you don't. There's just no way. There's so much technology, so much is changing. I would have never thought of doing this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm writing down all the components I'm putting into this laundromat, and I'm going to mirror this on the other two. And the one that's in a really good neighborhood, I won't have to use the buzzer system. But late at night, if I want to, I can. Now the one on the other part of town, on the west part of town that I have problems with, this is going to be genius for it too. Now is it a little bit of a pain? Yeah, but you know what? All I need it for that one is to just make sure there's nobody in there and then tell them to leave. If they don't leave, then I go from there. It's ingenious. Now, I've always had cameras where I could view them remotely, but back in the day, you know, the cameras weren't very good, and to get audio ones, it cost a fortune. So we never really paid the money to do all that. Now, these things have come so far. Technology has improved so much. It's very easy to do this. So this is really exciting for me. So I can't wait to get it finished. It's going to take me another 2 days. That's why you haven't seen much out of me. I've been busy here working, trying to get this done. So just really exciting to get this fixed up. Now I'm going to show you one more part of those front doors. This here is what they call a delayed relay. And I can set it from 3 to 60 seconds. And so on those front doors, I'm going to have a button you push to exit. Well, the way these magnetic locks work, if you push the button, the magnet stops, you can go out. But the minute you let go of that button, the magnets are full strength. So people would have to push the button and push the door at the same time. That little relay, basically once they push it, it gives them anywhere from 3 to 60 seconds to open the door before it relocks again. That way they don't have to try to use both hands at the same time. If they have their hands full or whatever, they can bump the lock and then push the door, and then a couple seconds later it locks behind them. That's really how those magnetic locks work the best. So I've piecemealed my parts. You can buy them as kits. I'm way under the cost with the magnets and the little relay. And if I had to have a transformer plus the outlet from Amazon, I mean, I'm looking at maybe $200. So pretty cheap date for me. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say this glare is horrible. Now we're going to speed this up because I don't want to be here all night to show you this. And I should start downloading this footage for you, and I will. But there's the window right in there that got broke. And you can see in this, it's not. You can see in there it's not broke. Here's the funny thing, that's actually a cop right there making a turn. Just before that, there goes the cop. And you're like, wow, what are the chances of that? The cop just missed this happening. And that's just kind of the dumb luck I got sometimes. In a minute here, they start walking up, and they obviously decide they're going to break this window for the fun of it. And they just walk off. Here they come. Now this isn't the guy that broke the window, and neither is this one. Here's the guy right here. Now you notice they kind of stop, and you can see up there they're talking to somebody. There he goes. I know you're thinking, you're like, why did he break that window? The reason he broke the window is because the liquor store closes at 9 now instead of like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night because of the whole outbreak thing, he was pissed he couldn't get a beer. So he decided to punch my window. Doesn't that beat all? I did nothing wrong. He's never used this laundromat, never had a problem here. He just decided to take his frustration that he couldn't get a beer across the street because he was too lazy to go there before it closed down. That homeless guy was actually telling him, hey, look, they're closed already. So I wish he hadn't talked to him, because if he hadn't, they probably would have walked across the street and been mad over there instead of been mad at my place. That's the kind of stuff you're going to deal with. I mean, sometimes it isn't even your fault or your issues. It's the other weirdos that just have nothing better to do. So